Hey, what is going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about solo farming black zone mobs and if it's effective or not. Before we go ahead and get into this video, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people who have been watching my channel. I recently saw that I've been getting a lot of attention from new watchers, and I wanted to invite you guys to go ahead and subscribe if you enjoy the content and turn notifications on to get updates whenever I post. I saw a lot of videos after the first Lands Awaken update claiming that open world mobs are worth it. Obviously, this is true when it comes to the buff boss mobs, but is this true when it comes to randomly solo farming mobs in a tier 7 zone? Well, that is exactly what I decided to try out, and I'm going to tell you guys the results in this video. One small detail is that if you're in the black zone and you return to your hideout, which is your set home, then you receive a 10% fame bonus towards activities. Assuming that you have a hideout in the black zone and you receive this bonus, it's more efficient to farm mobs there than in the royal continent. Obviously, I utilized this 10% fame bonus while doing this experiment, so keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and talk about the actual experiment. There isn't much planning that had to go into this activity as I was just running around and randomly killing tier 7 mobs in the black zone, but I definitely wanted to be efficient. I wore a 1300 IP Bloodletter ganking set, which was more than enough IP to kill these mobs quickly. The set cost me around 900,000 silver, and it consisted of a Fiend Cowl, an Assassin Jacket, Hunter Shoes, the Bloodletter obviously, and a Mist Collar. All of my passive abilities were used to increase my attack speed and damage. And yes, I know, a Mage Cowl or even some of the other hoods would be more effective than using the Fiend Cowl, but I wanted to level it up and get some spec into it for ganking. As you'll see throughout the video, each mob dropped a different amount of fame. Some of them dropped around 1,000 fame, some of them dropped around 9,000 fame, and some of the buffed mobs even dropped around 20,000 fame. This is a lot of fame per kill compared to many other solo activities. So, what I did was I kept track of how much fame I would earn over the span of 10-minute intervals, and I did this for an hour. So, 6 intervals. I then averaged the amount of fame I earned doing these 6 intervals. This averaged to be around 240,000 fame per 10-minute interval. We could then take this 240,000 fame and multiply it times 6 because there are 6 10-minute intervals in an hour. We get the result of around 1.44 million fame per hour. That's a lot of fame. The silver, on the other hand, averaged around to be 480,000 silver per hour, not including loot drops. So, how does this compare to HCEs and Tier 8 static dungeons? In one of my previous videos, I did a similar test like this, but for the Tier 8 static group dungeons, so 5 people, and I've made a lot of HCE fame videos in the past. I'll link them in the top right corner if you want to go ahead and check them out. But from those videos, we know that HCEs make around 1.2 million fame per hour, and they make around 2 million silver per hour, while the group static dungeons with 5 people make around 1.6 million fame per hour and around 650,000 silver per hour. This puts T7 open world mob farming better than HCEs in fame per hour, but not as good as doing tier 8 static group dungeons in a 5-man. So let's go ahead and head back to our central question: is farming open world mobs in the black zone worth it? The answer to that question is it depends on the circumstances. If you have a 5-man group that is ready to go and fame farm in a tier 8 static group dungeon, then it's definitely worth it to go and do the group dungeon because you will be getting a little bit more fame. However, if you're by yourself and you aren't so focused on getting silver and you just purely want the fame, this is definitely a good activity to do. Keep in mind, I didn't take into account speed clearing solo dungeons in the comparisons. That is because I haven't gotten any of my own numbers on speed clearing solo dungeons, and I don't want to use any numbers that I find on YouTube or online just because I'm not 100% sure if those will still be relevant, as there have been a couple updates. But in no way am I saying that other YouTubers are posting incorrect information or calculations, but I just like to use my own calculations because I'm able to 100% back that up with the data I've collected, and I want to give you guys the best information possible. Yeah, that basically sums up the video. I hope this helps answer a lot of questions, and I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to see more Albion online content.